Well, welcome everybody. My name is Dr. Karen Moriarty, and tonight I am co-presenting with Harry Kroner. This is so exciting, and it sort of is, the issue of sleep is a two-part issue. There is a physical issue, and then as many of us are very well aware of, there's a mental issue. And so that's why you have two speakers here tonight. So I'm going to present all the things that can physically kind of stand in your way of a good night's sleep. And then Harry's going to understand what goes on up here that could keep us awake too. So, what is insomnia? Its technical definition is a sleep disorder characterized by the inability to sleep or remain asleep for a reasonable period during the night. Okay. And I love what Shakespeare says, sleep is the chief nourisher in life's feast. Very true. We cannot be all that we can be without a good night's sleep. We really can't. It really does affect us, and we're going to talk about that. Sleep apnea, on the other hand, is the inability to breathe properly or the limitation of breath or breathing during sleep. So the benefits of a good night's sleep starts with, very importantly, that during sleep the growth hormone is released. Now we're like all grown up, so what does this do for us? Well, even after we grow to adulthood, that continues to make our bones stronger. That's what keeps our muscle mass hearty. It promotes lipolysis, our favorite thing, helps us lose body fat. It increases the protein synthesis and stimulates optimum maintenance of all internal organs. Every single internal organ has a cycle during the time of night that it cleanses and repairs and heals itself. So depending on when you're not sleeping, you might be losing out on that. Stimulates your immune system, which we all need to be healthy, and supports your pancreas's ability to make insulin. Our poor pancreases make enough insulin in a day as our great-great-great-grandparents made in a year.
Wow.
Works very hard. Yeah, that's how much processed carbohydrates have snuck into the American diet. So what are the costs of insomnia? Well, when they interview people, 34% of them feel that the loss of sleep affects their academic performance, their work quality, or their efficiency. I certainly would say that's true. 38% feel that they cannot participate in leisure activities or athletic performances or exercise programs because they're tired from the chronic sleep loss. 54% of Americans have reported that they've actually driven while they're pretty drowsy, at least once in the past year. 28% say it's once a month. Same number have fallen asleep while driving in the past year. A third of the drivers.
Wow.
That is not good.
That's staggering.
Studies show that 6 hours or less of sleep triples the likelihood of a car accident. Chronic state of physical and mental fatigue affects the quality of your life every single day. And poor sleepers experience minor stressful events, right? The molehill becomes the mountain when we're tired. It's so true. We don't adapt well when we're fatigued. And it can actually dramatically weaken your immune system and increase your risk of cancer. Your immune system is your best friend in avoiding cancer. Stress of irregular sleep cycles can lead to stress-related disorders. Digestion problems, depression, heart disease, stroke, and high blood pressure are all very much tied into people who don't sleep well. That's why it's part of PTSD. Well, losing sleep changes the level of two hormones, which leads to weight gain. So if you sleep better, you'll be thinner. And it interferes with the metabolism and hormone production, causing it to age you and set the stage for type 2 diabetes. Remember, the pancreas needs you to sleep. So this is why this is an issue that's important to address and heal from a much more natural perspective than a medication perspective. And we're going to talk about that because there's a big difference. So believe it or not, there's actually 5 types of insomnia. Some of us have trouble falling asleep. Some of us really light sleepers, like anything wakes us up, then we can't get back. wake up too early in the morning, like at 4 a.m. And you don't feel refreshed. You feel tired. I have people who tell me they sleep 8 hours a day, but they're tired when they wake up. So how much sleep do we really need? This is interesting because we live in a country that values people who get 3 hours of sleep at night and run an empire, you know? Truth is, that's not really good for them. Babies need 16 or 18 hours of the day to be sleeping. And this is why colic is such a problem. And colic needs to be addressed. It's an unhappy baby. That's their only way to cry for help. We see a lot of infants with colic in here, and I'll tell you, no one, all the grateful people for the terrible low back pain and migraines and all that we take away colic, and boy, you've got a whole family in love with you. It's it's a very rewarding thing to do. They get a little bit bigger, they still need a lot of sleep. You know, some of this age group is still napping for a couple hours, but they need to be in bed early in first grade so they can get that 12 hours. And again, the American culture is robbing them because they get a ton of homework and then they have all these after-school activities. And then you're trying to give them supper and spend some time with them. Before you know it, it's 9 o'clock at night, and some of these kids have, you know, a schedule where they have to get up at 6:30 in the morning. Interestingly enough, the lack of sleep is known to contribute to ADD and ADHD. Makes a lot of sense. Right? These babies need their sleep. And teenagers, we know this. If you leave a teenager alone on a weekend, you know, they'll do 14 hours or something. Adults, we do need that 7 to 8 hours. We really, really do.
Couldn't imagine.
A 2009 survey reported the following findings. That only 58% of us had a few good nights sleep in the past month. 66% feel that their sleep needs are not being met. So 2/3 of the American public, this is why this is such a popular workshop, will tell you that they don't sleep well. 64% report a sleep problem at least a few nights a week, and 41%, almost half, it's like every night. That's a lot of people not sleeping well. A third lose sleep due to concerns. Look at this. Their personal finances and the U.S. economy. I am not kidding you. That's what they... Look at this. More than 56 million prescriptions for sleeping pills. 600 million on over-the-counter sleep aids. 600 million. They're not the answer. They give you counterfeit sleep. You sort of are an amnesiac. You don't remember waking up. You don't remember that you tossed and turned. You think you slept well, but you didn't. You absolutely did not. They suppress the most important part of the REM sleep and dreaming, hallmarks of deep restorative healing sleep. All those benefits that you get from sleep do not happen with medicated sleep. Many detrimental and potentially dangerous side effects. As we know, there are some that are extreme. And the over-the-counter sleeping pills that cause that contain Benadryl can affect us for 18 hours. You're basically sedated most of the day. Prescribed pills are also associated with feeling groggy upon awakening. That's one of the deterrents to them. Most people don't enjoy them. CPAP machines, not always the answer either. They return when the CPAP stopped or if it's used improperly, so it doesn't actually fix. And a lot of my patients tell me this. They're uncomfortable, I can't sleep with them, they make a lot of noise, and especially if you're a spouse, that's a real issue. So what's going on? Well, why are people not sleeping? So this is a very simple formula. Great sleep is the outcome of an interaction between being tired and what we're going to call noise. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So obviously sleepiness is that nice mental and physical state of relaxation that ideally builds some momentum as we approach our bedtime. The noise is any kind of mental, physical, or environmental stimulation that inhibits or disrupts sleep. So if you're not sleeping, you've got one or more of these affecting you. And as I said earlier, Harry's going to handle the first one, and I'm going to talk about the physical or environmental stimulations that might be creating the noise for your lack of sleep. Because I really do find people who really are in that 40-something% that it's almost every night they don't feel well, it does take all three corners of the triangle to make it happen. So basically, here's the equation. If the noise is greater than the level of sleepiness, your quality of sleep is adversely affected. So let's talk about this. So my noise, right, are the unstoppable thoughts. You wake up and you immediately start thinking about stuff that you haven't had a chance to think about all day. Body noise is any kind of pain, discomfort, indigestion. There are certain prescription drugs for completely unrelated things that can actually create difficulty sleeping, and they'll typically have that on the side effects list. Caffeine and a less than ideal airway function. Environmental noises are noises in your bedroom, your house, a snoring partner, music, lights, or a bedroom that's too warm. And we're going to talk about some of the classics that really goes on a lot. So you want to establish, we're going to talk about the environment, you want to establish a bedtime routine that looks something like this. So first of all, to get your body as comfortable as possible. This is interesting, and you can actually test this. Sugar keeps us awake. So we all have been taught this, that if you eat a candy bar, you get a little bit of surge, and then when the insulin comes out and pushes the sugar into the cells, you have that crash, right? If you did a candy bar after lunch, you'd have that crash at like 3 in the afternoon. Well, the same thing happens if you eat any carbohydrates at night with your dinner. At first you feel okay, the insulin comes out, sugar is pushed into the cells, and your body goes, where's the sugar? So typically these are people who wake up at like 1 or 2 in the morning. And how you test this is put like 4 ounces of orange juice next to your bed. When you wake up, chug the orange juice. If you go right back to sleep, this is your problem. You'd be shocked at how many people that happens to.
Orange juice doesn't wake you?
No, because what you're doing, much like the diabetic, who when they were in trouble, right? Orange juice is a real fast sugar producer.
Oh, okay.
So you don't want to get this into a habit. What you want to do is learn from that experience. If you chug the orange juice and you go right back to sleep because now your body's got the sugar craving is taken care of, you need to not go near rice, pasta, bread, desserts, all that after dinner stuff has to cease and desist. That's your body giving you a huge clue. We do a purification program. And when you do the purification program, we do it 3 times a year as a practice, you have no carbohydrates of any kind in your diet for 21 days. And people will tell me, I haven't slept like this in 20 years. Just by taking out all the garbage, all the chemicals, all the colorings. Everything you eat has to be whole food organic. It's mostly vegetables. You can eat a little protein. But makes a huge difference in everybody's sleep when they do that. But that's the test. Dairy and wheat. A lot of people are sensitive to these foods. You don't know it. It's not outright. It's not, dramatic. But again, these are things to get rid of at night. Obviously, you want to limit the liquids. This is an interesting thing. So to make up for the goodie you can't eat, have a high protein snack. So you want, like if you do a protein bar, you just got to look at the carbohydrate content and make sure that it's almost 0. It's 0 glycemic index, what you want to look for. Standard Process makes a great protein shake. And again, you can have that before you go to bed. It's absolutely if you're hungry, instead of a sugar-based snack. Caffeine after lunch is a no-no. And alcohol. A lot of people unfortunately think alcohol helps them. Well, it does, but then it stops you from falling into the deeper stages of sleep. And if you wake up, it's hard to get back to sleep. And of course, reduce or avoid as many drugs as possible because a lot of them affect sleep. And I'm here to tell you, 31 years, very few medications can't be replaced by something really good for you. Chiropractic care, this is interesting. The colicky babies are babies who are in a state of fight or flight. ADD, ADHD kids are kids that are in a sort of state of fight or flight, right? They can't settle down, they can't be calm. So it's very obvious when you work on them that they're in what we call a sympathetic state. The parasympathetic state in the nervous system is the state of relaxation. That's the state that gets you from that nice, I am focused, I am calm, to I am sleepy, to I am totally asleep. That's the parasympathetic state. It is the ideal state to be in. This is why people who meditate are so much healthier than people who don't. Because part of the things that happens to them is they go into that nice parasympathetic state. Everything I do in this office is to create a parasympathetic state. So it looks a certain way, and we leave you on those tables, and we play that kind of music we play, and we have aromatherapy that's designed to encourage that. Because I know most of you are living your life in fight or flight. Most of you are in a rush, trying to get more done in a day than you can, and that's how we live our lives. So we're constantly ramping up the nervous system into a state of fight or flight. Now, fight or flight was based on imminent physical danger. A bear chasing you, a tiger chasing you. Was that the good time to sleep? No. That was a good time to be hypervigilant. That's what waking up in the middle of the night and not going back to sleep is. You've basically done the modern version of hypervigilance. So one of the ways babies, the kids, become calmer, it's just so much more obvious in them than in an adult, is to get chiropractic care. And we can add, when we analyze your spine, we're going to look and see, are the areas that control the parasympathetic state in a state of health, or do they need an alignment so that they can express themselves in a more balanced way in your body? So a lot of people, because that's one of the questions we ask on your intake, is about your sleep. Even if you come in with, for back pain or headaches or whatever you come in with, one of the things we ask you about your health is how are you sleeping? Because it's really fun to track that. And we just continue to look at that as we evaluate you over time to see if that's coming back in. So a lot of times that will do it. No question, people who exercise sleep better than people who do not. Yeah, naps, they're so much fun, but don't do it too much in short bursts, because if you have trouble sleeping, it's going to take that from you. How nice is this, a hot shower or bath or a sauna before bed? Because it's going to raise your body temperature, and then when you get out of that nice warm environment, it's going to lower it. And as it lowers it, that's going to facilitate sleep in the human body. Have your adrenal function and hormonal balance checked by either a doctor of naturopathy or a functional medicine doctor. We have in Massachusetts Vision Health Associates, which are, there's like 3 buildings of functional medical doctors. Unfortunately, it's like the 128 belt. The good news is we're about to have, starting next month, a functional nutritionist in the office who will take blood, will take urine, will take saliva. We'll run the labs on all of this stuff. Because, see, adrenal function is tied into that fight or flight, isn't it? Right? And they get burnt out, and then we don't have that nice ebb and flow with our circadian rhythms anymore. And of course, the hormonal balance. We all have trouble with that, again, due to diet, to the toxins in the environment. This is interesting. People, that solves the problem for people. Isn't that interesting? You read that over and over again. There's somebody who just put on a pair of socks and it makes a big difference. How easy is that? If you have sleep apnea, you want to be a side sleeper, raise the head of your bed. Just put the feet up a couple inches. Steam your nasal passages before bed. Throw a little tea tree oil in that steam. Easiest way to steam is you bring a pot of water to the boil. You put it on a trivet on the table in front of you, towel over, just like the old days, and just breathe that in for a few minutes. And if you add the tea tree oil, it's going to even enhance that experience massively. And then they've got those nasal strips, which honestly, for some people, yeah, Karen's nodding her head. Reducing environmental noise. Okay, one of the things we have, too many of us have TVs in our bedrooms. That should be banned. No TVs in the bedroom. No sitting in bed and doing your laptop. You have to start to train your brain that when I come in here, I'm going to bed. I'm going to start to wind down. And unfortunately, the laptop engages you in that sympathetic fight or flight half the time. So you don't really want to be doing that, and you don't want to be watching Law and Order. The other thing, too, is you don't want a hot bedroom. You really want it cool. 70 would be way too hot for me, but that's what this research says. I only like 60 in my bedroom. Window open. So there is actually the science behind that. Increase the melatonin levels naturally by exposure to bright sunlight in the daytime and absolute darkness at night. Even light from your clocks, cell phones, computers. Some people have so much technology in their bedrooms, it's like you can almost like read without any lights being on. So you really need to shut that down. We are designed for total darkness. And we're designed to get outside. So being inside all day long with these artificial lights is definitely affecting all of us. So the people who get outside sleep better. And people who have totally dark bedrooms sleep better. So you really want to start doing that. You can wear a lavender eye mask, block out light, earplugs to block out sound. Because sometimes we don't have total control over our environment. And going to bed by 10 p.m. Boy, hasn't that been said for 1,000 years. Your best sleep is between 10 and 2. Still true. They're not changing their story. Circadian rhythm, right, matches the physiology with the environment. Darkest sleep. So electric lighting has not been around that long. So basically, for the first, how many years we've been on the planet, until a blink ago, we went to bed when it got dark out. It was way too complicated to try to stay awake with a couple of candles. So you went to bed. Right? And you were outside most of your day. Whole different world. I'm sure there was zero insomnia back then. And establish a bedtime that's the same. I think most adults are good. This is more of an issue for the young people who tend to stay up till 3 in the morning on weekends. And sleep in and then they try to reset their rhythm. Not good. Aromatherapy or essential oils. Put them on the body. You can have the diffusers in your bedroom. You can spray them on your pillowcase.
Which ones?
Like the lavenders. And they actually make some mixtures now of them. And they'll say for sleep. To relax, but usually it's got lavender in it. There are a couple of people who don't like lavender, and so they make some options. I happen to love lavender. How do you quiet the mind's noise? Well, you definitely want to switch gears. So rest is the bridge to sleep. As you get older, it gets harder and harder and harder to go from 60 to 0. You have to have that time. You get home, you eat dinner, you unwind, you relax. You need to create a ritual where you're sort of starting to create that sleepiness, programming your body to do that. You know, when I was 30, I could go at 100 miles an hour and then drop into bed and sleep like a log. Not true anymore. No TV right before bed and never sleep with the TV on. It's too stimulating to the brain. Those lights are flashing over your eyes and it shuts down that melatonin production. Read something, something spiritual, something religious, something that will help you relax. Like don't read, the mysteries, the crime, the suspense novels, or, don't watch Law and Order. Watch the Hallmark Channel. They're doing all the Christmas movies again. I've already seen 100 times. This is really helpful. One of the things Harry taught me was not only to journal before I went to bed, but if I woke up, with that hypervigilant brain, I would write everything down that my brain was saying. And even when it's messy, because you don't want to turn on a light. Just write it messy. It'll be there for you, but it kind of tells your brain, okay, that's done. You don't have to worry about her remembering that. Yeah, I've always kept a pen and paper next to my bed ever since the first time Harry did this. And listen to relaxation or hypnotherapy CDs. I did some great work with Harry, and when you do that, he makes you your very own personalized hypnotherapy CD. And try to stay awake during the whole thing. Good luck to you. It's great. There are some supplements, there's no question. We already talked about the purification program. Standard Process makes a lightweight tranquilizer called Mintran. This is awesome for kids. This is like all vegetables, mineral-based vegetables, totally safe, nothing's in there, works unbelievable. Orchex is their higher end. Great for adults. This is what I do. I take breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then I take one before bed. And that's their like anti-anxiety, create the parasympathetic state in the body. That's it, but it doesn't give you brain fog in any way. Bach Flowers makes a product called white chestnut. I think Nancy, was it you that turned me on to that? Yeah. White chestnut is in particular designed for the racing mind. And that's a couple of drops that you take. They also make a rescue remedy. And that's what I find works really good for me. Yeah, and I'm going to talk about my little. And of course, this is great. I'm always so glad when I take the time to make myself a cup of this tea. You got to do it ahead of time so, you're not waking up to pee. But I really think it should be part of that, it should be the early part of that 2-hour before bed ritual. Is start with this, and so that you're really setting the stage. So this is what's really helped me, was my sessions with Harry Kroner and the CD that I listen to at night. I take that Orchex, like I told you. I spray my tongue 3 times with that Bach Flower Rescue before I go to bed. And then they have this now. It's homeopathic. And I dissolve one of these when I go to bed, and then if you wake up, you can dissolve another one. And I really do find I go right back to sleep. So you can get these at Simple Enough, at Bosch's. Simple Enough's in Westboro. Bosch's is in Hudson. But that's what I found, trying all this stuff, all the melatonins, all the GABA. I've done everything. Tried it all. This is the best routine I've ever had in terms of really trying to get me into a state that I can sleep deeper. Because again, nights like this, I mean, it's a 14-hour day. And I got to try to go to sleep after that. It's hard. So now we're going to talk about, I love hypnotherapy. Who's had hypnotherapy before? Oh, it's the best. It's the best. So this is why I do this workshop, so I get to be hypnotized by Harry again. So I'm going to hand the reins over to Harry, who's going to help us sleep even better.
Yeah. Thank you. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about the mental and emotional aspects of our challenges of going to sleep. And as Dr. Karen mentioned, a lot of us has the challenges of falling asleep, and what's very, very common too is staying asleep. When you wake up in those kind of middle of the night kind of hours and times which are challenging, and it's hard to go back to sleep, always thinking about those things to do at work, things that you want to achieve, finances, as we saw, is a big problem, finances, things that bother you, challenges with family members, whether it's kind of elderly grandparents or your children or your grandchildren. Someone has a problem, your spouse. It's always something to worry about, it feels like it, right? So it's important to allow that constant barrage of things to start handling them in a better way. So I want to talk to you about it, and I'm going to go through different things here, and we're going to combine it all together at the end with a meditation, okay? So we'll do a quick presentation, and we'll go do a meditation, okay? So I want to talk a little bit more about what happens when we sleep. So we're going to talk about the subconscious and what happens when we deal with that level of things, because this is when everything comes up. So our sleep is not a one block, right? You're aware of that. So when coming down from being awake, you go into a very deep sleep very quickly. Within 45 minutes, you're in the delta brain waves here, and you're going very, very deeply. And then you start going through the natural rhythm of cycling. And this length of a movement, it changes slightly between a person to the next, but it's about an hour and a half every segment of those. That's why you have those times when you wake up. An average time to wake up is like 3 in the morning. It's a magical time in the middle of the night. And it's because you are about in that third portion here, and you bring yourself very, very closely to wakeful. This is a wakeful state. You come very closely to wakeful state. So this is why it's so easy to just wake up. And a lot of us, especially men here over 40, believe me, I've done this, which is terrible. You have to wake up in the middle of the night and just go. So you do that, and you have to come back to sleep. But it's important to know that we have the power to not fall into like, oh, and have this to do in the morning, and have this, and really allow yourself, okay, now I just allow myself to, I like this new, I came up with it lately, slip back into sleep. I can just slip back into sleep. Because it really is just that kind of decision to just kind of let go. It's like kind of do that switch between like I'm holding on to things and thoughts and all those back burners of things that I have to do and places to be, and focusing right here. I just like kind of let go of all that and let myself kind of slip into that comfortable letting go. And we'll do that in just a moment. So another important thing about the cycles of sleep, and Dr. Karen mentioned that, it's about naps. I'm a big fan of power naps. Make them 10-15 minutes long. And it's ideal. You wouldn't think of, like, even if you go to sleep or you don't fully go to sleep at 15 minutes, you'll still wake up feeling absolutely refreshed. And if you sleep, it's wonderful because you still are down, up here. You still didn't go very deeply. And allow yourself to wake up and you feel very good. If you allow yourself 45 minutes, if you have slept like 45 minutes and beyond, you're down here, and wake up from this, you feel groggy and out of it, and you're like, you can't really wake up for the rest of the day. So that's why it happens, because you're messing up with your sleep cycles. So do those 10-minute naps, 10-15 minutes naps, and it's golden, it's beautiful. So it's a good thing to have. And it will definitely support you, and again, it's not going to disrupt your overnight sleep, because it's not enough to change that, but it's enough to allow you to completely let go, disengage, allow the body to rest, recuperate, and feeling refreshed. So let's talk about changing your sleeping habits and how that works. So we're going to really talk about how to do and remove that noise, and again, that equation of like how much noise is compared to your environment and compared to everything else that allows you to go to sleep. So we're going to do in the meditation an example of how to let go, and some ideas and some things that will help you in the process of letting go. One of my favorite things is just putting everything into, imagining you're just blowing balloons, all that stress, all that tension, knowing that I can just do it in the morning, and blowing balloons in your mind, and just filling them up and just releasing, letting them go. Or imagine you're just blowing it all into bubbles and letting them just release them. All kinds of metaphors that helps you imagine you are releasing and letting go. Why metaphors? Because the subconscious mind works with metaphors. This is how our subconscious mind works. It's all in metaphors. Words are metaphors. Images are metaphors. Everything will work in metaphor, because this is how we actually work in our subconscious mind, which is the basis for everything. So that's why when we're going to do a relaxation soon here, it works well, because it allows you to catch something that would resonate with you. And there's many different types and kinds, but allow yourself the possibility to really let go in some level. And whatever it is, that metaphor that will work for you. So enjoy that part. And as Dr. Karen went so well about creating new routines for yourself, and when anything you do, and any routine you create, make sure you do it for enough time, and make sure you do it for at least 30 days. When you create a new habit, start introducing, and you can choose from all the things that together between the two of us that you are going to hear today. Integrate several, whatever resonates, whatever you feel like, oh, I want to try that. That sounds cool, and really apply it to your life, and try to do it on a regular basis. Okay, because every habit, if you know. From our psychology, it takes 21 days to 28 days to create a habit and make it a permanent habit within your life. So instead of just having that one tea, and it's like, wow, that tea was great, it really helped me go to sleep, and then you don't do it again, you didn't do much. You want to create a habit. You want to create, again, that ritual is actually quite important in helping you, making it a regular way of being. And just by doing that regular things every night, you're also training your brain, like, okay, this is it. Right now, I'm telling myself I'm doing those things that always lead me to sleep. So I will go to sleep. Okay? This is a lot about your self-persuasion and bringing yourself to that state. So, okay, let's slow here. When you do that, and we're going to start talking more details here about mental noise, pick a metaphor or something like that, as I just talked about, that really works for you. What I mean by it is taking it to the next level of imagining a beautiful place that you are really, that either it's real or imagined, that you have experienced really great deep peace and quiet in it. So if you think about whatever it is can be, for most people, 90% of people it's a beach of some sort. I have it all categorized. 90% is a beach, the other 8% is a lake of some sort. So a body of water, really, it brings us great calm. Or a creek or something like that, a moving water. And you think about it, it's all bringing the element, fire, earth, water. If you have all of them in there, for some reason, it just makes it more peaceful. So think of it. Bring it into your mind. Something that is very peaceful, very, very calming in you. A moment in life that was just so pleasant. Then when you just think about it, it starts to bring that sensation and that peace into your body, into your mind. So it's all about people who spend too much time trying to fight and struggle with those thoughts and with those things, and it's not the point. You're doing it the wrong way. It's time to stop that inner fights and inner conflicts. It's really you're creating your own enemy from inside, your own entity that is continues the struggle inside. So let go of all that noise and nonsense and just focus on being peaceful right here, right now, and being at peace and bringing a peaceful scenario, a peaceful moment in your life and bringing it into your consciousness and your awareness. And another beautiful thing that I like to do is observe your thoughts, and I took it to the next level in many different ways. But if you do that, you really another problem that we have in our days these days. We're too busy, and we don't give ourselves a chance to process the day. And when you don't process the day, all those emotions and all those thoughts will wait until you have a moment to do that. So for some of us, we have time when we drive home, and that again could be short or long. And some of us have a time when we give ourselves a little time before bed. But most of us just don't do it. You watch TV, you do this, you do that, you take care of the kids, you do a million things, and then you get to bed. You didn't take of any of your emotions. You still are thinking and still are ruminating about that problem, that whatever the co-worker was still saying to you in your mind. You still are thinking about things that need to happen tomorrow. You haven't really processed the day. You haven't really allowed yourself the time to take care of you. So start thinking about it that way, and when you really take the time to take care of things, your night will be cleared. And this is one of the reasons why things come up when you are in the middle of the night, because your subconscious mind is telling, your emotions are telling you, hey, wonderful, you're awake. We have some things to take care of. I want to bring your attention to a few things that needs to be addressed. So you got to know that you got to give that time either during the day, either through meditations, or really taking a few moments for yourself and just being at peace and taking that cup of tea and relaxing. But any way, shape, or form, you got to give yourself some time before sleep to take care of things. That's essential. Otherwise, it'll have to happen at night, because your subconscious mind has a lot to deal with, especially these days. So it needs to happen. And another beautiful thing that I like to do is really recognize in my practice that affirmations are exceptionally powerful. And they are exceptionally powerful because, especially when it is done correctly, and you do those things that resonate with you, and you do those affirmations that bring you that knowing and that permission to relax. Let me explain to you a little bit about that, and we'll go into that in just a few moments and how we do that. But some of those things that help in the emotional noise, and that's really important, is what we just talked about, feeling that you can put everything into a balloon, all those stress and anxiety, because if you really think about it, no matter what you have to deal with emotionally or mentally, whatever happened throughout the day, it is that stress and anxiousness that is in your way. Because if you were in a calm, peaceful, meditative state, and you're just like, okay, let me address myself, let me really try to be one with my emotions, understand what I'm feeling, understand why it's there, and really bring yourself to kind of this emotional wisdom, you will be in a much better place. But the problem is that the anxiety and stress kind of supersede everything and bring into that sympathetic nervous system response and takes over, and you no longer have that ability to be calm and peaceful, but just be completely in the reactive mode of that hype state that is so damaging to us. So it's important to first of all let go, and that's why it's important for me to mention it is important not to let go of the emotions, but to let go of the stress and anxiety and your fear and all those things that are in your way. But you do need to take the time to address those emotions and those subjects with you or with other people that you need to address it with. Okay, so. Imagine that we're going to do the meditation, that you're blowing all that stuff, and I want you to really feel it, that you're taking out from wherever you're feeling in the body. If you feel it in your heart, if you feel it in your solar plex, in your belly, in your mind, in your throat, whatever you usually hold that tension, that you feel that knot, you will know where it is, to really blow it out and really feel you can move it out from you into that balloon. So it's not like just a mental exercise. This is a physiological, really feeling it and taking it out of you into that balloon. Okay? It's a transferring process. And I'm sure you guys know that kind of loop that plays in your head sometimes, kind of plays again and again and again, right? Repeats the same things, and like it sometimes feel like it's stuck. It's like, wow, it's like an instant repeat. That happens sometimes on things, and usually almost 90% of the time it's situations that you, on some level, have some emotion to resolve about it because you felt either you didn't behave or didn't respond or react in the right way, or somebody else didn't. And it still kind of festers inside, and you keep kind of repeating and repeating, whether it's, again, co-workers, whether it's your children or situations that you need to take care of. So it's always something on that level. But it's important to know that you can change that tape. You can take that tape out and just put it away and stop it and really allow yourself to either really take the next step and change the scenario. It's like, okay, let's imagine I can redo that scene. How would I redo it? What would be the best scenario I can resolve a scene with that happened today? And you'll be surprised. As soon as you do that, you'll be able to go to sleep. Because it is something that you need to allow yourself to do, and it's a beautiful thing. So remember that you can change that, and those repeating loops do not have to be this way, and you have a power to shift it and change it within your mind. Another thing is, as I mentioned, the forgiveness exercise is about really taking that time and shifting and changing the scenery. And if someone really wronged you, and it happens, do a cycle of forgiveness with them. Ask for their forgiveness. Have them imagine they're asking for your forgiveness and resolving the matter, so you can go to sleep. You will take care of the rest of it in the morning, right? Or next time you interact with them. That's fine. So affirmations. The way to do this is really find those, and there's plenty more out there. And I have some on the recording. I have a CD that you can purchase at the end if you'd like as well. Is to find those that really resonate with you. For some reason, a lot of people, and it's amazing, because we are stuck in that fight or flight mode for many, many different reasons. It's like you don't allow yourself to relax. So a lot of people think, I have to stay hyped up, I have to stay on alert because I cannot relax. If I relax, things might happen. Things will get out of my control. It's a big one, right? All my fears might come true if I'm not always vigilant and making sure everything, my kids are okay, everything is okay, everything's been taken care of, my business, all that stuff that keeps up coming up. So it's important to find those things and allow yourself to know that right here, right now, as I am in bed, it is time to go to sleep. It is time to give myself that permission to sleep. And it's surprising how much people actually like that, because they forget to give themselves permission to go to sleep. So that's one of my favorites. I'm allowing myself to fall into a deep and satisfying sleep. That's always, because again, it's you that is letting go. Those issues and problems and thoughts, racing thoughts and all things, they're there, but they're not you. Okay, you, the real person here, can let go of those emotions and feelings. They're continuously changing, and you can change and you can let go of them. It is your choice. Another one of my favorites is, it is in my power to have a sound and pleasant sleep. It's always a good one. And I deserve a restful and rejuvenating sleep. It's really, know that you deserve it. You deserve to have a good night's sleep. It's not a luxury. It's nothing that you cannot let go now of things. Things will be there in the morning for you, right here, right now. It is time to take a break, a real break that'll give you that chance to recoup. And another one that's especially for emotions and thoughts, which I love, is I'm releasing all negative thoughts from my system. It's really powerful. If you really do it when you relax and take a deep breath, and we'll do it in just a few moments, it really feel that you can let go, and you feel all those negative influences just flow right out of your body, and it just feels so good. And you feel as if like there's a little current that's flowing out and leaving your body. It just feels really good. So, there are many different reasons why we have challenges in sleep, and a lot of them are physiological, as Dr. Karen covered. A lot of different reasons, a lot of different things, and a lot of them are emotional and mental, but they're all different. And some of them actually do go deeper, and it's important to, and we covered some of that too. So it's important to realize that a lot of times it's more than that that is causing the issues. So I want to tell a couple of stories here. I had this guy that came to me, and he really was so hyper. He was in such a high level of he was literally shaking all the time, and he really didn't give himself the permission to let go, but on a very deep level. And he went back to his first wife, that at some point when he was relaxing and kind of dozing off to sleep on the couch or something like that, she was always teasing and kicking him or bothering him when he was like letting go. So he didn't allow himself to let go. It's always vigilant, and he was almost left in that stuck phase of always being on. I have to be on, otherwise I'll be ridiculed, I'll be made fun of, I'll be teased for hours on that. So that took a lot of work to let go of that, and all that connected to that first marriage that was very, very unhealthy. So it goes deeper. It goes deeper into different things and emotional levels and things that need to be resolved, and other things. Situations that need to be completed and be healed from the past. Another wonderful lady that came to me suffered from lack of sleep for a couple of years, and pretty much she knew that it's since the time that her husband died. But still, no matter what she did, and she still had a young kid, so she wasn't completely alone in the house, but she was alone in her bedroom, and we really got down to resolving that, and it was that sense of safety. A sense of safety and a sense of being loved, and very, very, very deep emotional levels of being. And once we finished our work together, she was sleeping beautifully. She was sleeping very good, and that really resolved the problem continuously for the rest of the time, because she knew it, she healed it, she made peace with it, and she was able to continue with her life, literally. After the death of her husband. So it goes deeper sometimes, and we need to recognize that it might be in some of the cases. So I want, how many people here have actually meditated before? Okay, oh yeah, quite good, about half, wonderful. So it really is, when you do relaxation, it's really about knowing that it is now time to let go. And when you do that, you have to remember this is not another task that needs to be completed. This is not another challenge that must be gained, a goal that must be attained. It is none of the sort. It is really just about letting go. There's no judgment here. There's no tests I'm going to give at the end. There's no whether you succeeded or not. This is not about that. This is about the practice. It's the same. You should treat it the same way as going to the gym, okay? And I think no one here is a professional athlete, so none of us are doing it to be in the highest level scoring available ever. We go to the gym because our body needs to be healthy, right? We go to the chiropractor because our body needs to be healthy. We don't expect we don't score ourselves how we are after the first week. We see how we're doing after several weeks, after several months. So in the same way, don't judge yourself. This is not about something that needs to be, don't have to, the more you try, the more off you are of the task. Okay? You actually are doing the wrong thing. Don't try. That's the beauty of it, okay? You don't need to try. You just need to allow it to happen, to allow yourself to let go. It is your natural ability to let go and sleep, okay? It is something that is ingrained in you, okay? All of us can have a good night's sleep. All of us. So it is important to know it is in your power to bring this back, this natural ability to sleep. So let go of trying, let go of seeing how, if I can do this, if I cannot, that is completely irrelevant. All of us can relax if you just give yourself enough opportunities. All right? So don't judge yourself. Allow yourself to as you do this, and again, this is a group, so I'll have my own pace of doing this, and I'll try to match most of the group, but some of you guys will go faster and slower. So if you feel that you are suddenly distracted by something, take a deep breath and breathe it out, okay? Just breathe out the distracting thoughts, breathe out the distraction around you, and just going back to that, okay? Going back to listen to my voice and allow yourself to bring yourself back to that place, okay? So allow yourself to enjoy that process. And know again, as I mentioned before, this gets easier and easier as you do so. Same as going to the gym. At first it's a little hard. You need to get used to it, but then it gets easier and easier. And this is more important because you learn how to do that switch. And I think that's what, when we worked together, that was the key, that to learn that switch, right? That I can let go now. I can just turn off. And once you learn to know how relaxed you can be, then you can go back to that spot, that place that feels, how the body feels when it really relaxed, how the mind feels when it's really relaxed, and how the heart feels. Okay, so it's bringing yourself to that place of like, okay, I know I can be this relaxed, and you can bring yourself back there more often and quicker and better every time. All right? So let's get ourselves ready here. You put some nice, inspiring scent. So relax, put your things away. Take a deep breath. Everybody's a little tired anyway, right? It's a perfect opportunity to just let go a little more. So just take advantage of this. This is good. This is your opportunity to just let go. If you want to kick your shoes off, you can do that too. Don't get too comfortable. Okay. Actually, I do want you to get comfortable. So let's take a deep breath together. Yes, and let go and feel how you were allowing all that noise and chatter from the day, let all of that just be released. And just let go of all that. Be at peace with yourself. Take another deep breath and feel how, as you do that, you allow, as you exhale, let go of all the tension in the body. You can feel how you can let go of all that physical tension, as if you're like one of those puppet on strings, those marionettes that you can just let go of all those strings and allow the body to just let go. Just let go. Let go of all tension. Let go of all distractions. Imagine yourself in this most beautiful place you can imagine. It was a beautiful place. Remember how you feel in that place. Bring that calm, peaceful feeling into your heart. See the water or the beautiful scenery. See how quiet it is. Notice that natural rhythm around you. Notice how nature is so much more peaceful than what we are. allow yourself to match that peacefulness of nature around you. Allow it to happen within. And as you do that, imagine yourself imagine that you're holding in your hand an empty balloon, one that hasn't been filled up yet. And on this balloon clearly is printed stress, anxiousness, worry. And imagine you could take a deep breath now and know that when you exhale, you're going to transfer all that stress, all that tension, all that pressure from inside. Blow it right out. Really feel you emptying it. Clear it out of you. Wherever you're holding that knot, that tension in your body, feel how you are liberating yourself from it. Unhinge it from inside. Unhook it. And deliver it to that balloon. Blow it away from your body, from your mind. Feel that you have the ability to let go of all that stress, all that anxiousness, all that worry and fear completely released into that balloon. Know that you have the power within you to transfer it from your body into that balloon. And you can make it as big as you want it to be. It can be as a hot air balloon. Blow it away. Take another deep breath now with me. Blow it away. Feel that, yes. Blow it out of you. Imagine you're tying the knot to that balloon. And release it. And let go of it. And all that simply is gone. And take another calming, peaceful breath. I know that with every breath that you take, you allow yourself to relax further. And know that tonight, as you prepare yourself and ready yourself for sleep, you will already begin the process of relaxation and letting go. And know that you will allow yourself that privilege of a wonderful, pleasurable, rejuvenating sleep. You deserve it. And you can simply now repeat within your mind after me. I deserve to have a wonderful, rejuvenating sleep. It is in my power to let go and rest deeply. I choose right here and right now to slip into sleep. Very good. Now, take another cleansing breath and allow yourself to see if there's anything else within your mind, within your heart, that needs to be taken care of. That needs to be addressed. And allow yourself to do so now in the most kind, peaceful, loving of ways. Know that you can let go. And just like all other issues and all other wandering thoughts, you can simply let go of them, release them out of you It is your choice right now to feel that separation, that detachment from that busyness, from that holding on to thoughts and feelings. You can simply detach, just like that. Let go. Give yourself the permission to let go. Feel the joy in being at peace. And imagine now that you can simply know that it's like all those back burners going on. And you can simply turn off those back burners one by one. Turn them off. All those issues, all those problems can be resolved later, tomorrow. Time for that later. They'll always be there later. I can address them in the morning when I'm refreshed. When I get in my sleep, inspiration to how to resolve them in the best of ways. And allow to let go now, so I may enter rejuvenating, peaceful, restoring sleep. Know that tonight is a wonderful opportunity to take a break, to know that right here, right now, it is time to rest, to allow the body to heal itself, to allow my mind to clear, and feel how all those things can be let go of very easily, effortlessly. And in the case that there is that one thing that keeps repeating, know that what it's asking for, it's asking to be addressed. And that you can press stop to those repeating loops. Be the director. Change the outcome. Make peace with it. It is within your power to reach peace. It is within your power to relax deeply. As I count now backwards from 5 to 1, know that when I reach the number 1, you will simply allow yourself to be in a profound state of peace and relaxation. You have to do absolutely nothing. There's nothing more you have to do. Nowhere else you have to go. Just you at peace. It will happen automatically. With every number that I count backwards, you will allow yourself to go deeper and deeper. Let's take a deep breath together, cleansing breath. 5, going deeper and deeper within. Allow yourself to feel how the body releases all else, releasing all negative influences of the day completely out of the body. 4, feel how the body is now entering a deep rest, as if already asleep. 3, the mind is clearing automatically, naturally. letting go of all distractions, letting them just fade into the far distant background, where they no longer bother you, they no longer distract you in any way. 2, deeper and deeper within. And 1, you're in a profound, deep state of peace and relaxation. Know that this can be replicated again tonight. Know that you can go to this level every night, or even deeper. Even deeper every night. Take a moment now to just rest. Be at peace, be at ease, and know that all is well. Right here, right now, I am at peace, and I know that I will have a wonderful, rejuvenating sleep tonight. And when I awake in the morning, I will feel refreshed all over, feeling wonderful, positive outlook, ready for the day, feeling good. Absorb this. Allow the body now to remember how deeply relaxed it can be. Allow the mind to remember how calm it can be. And allow the heart to remember the deep peace that you are experiencing. And know that you can go even deeper. Now, in a moment I'll count from 1 to 5. When I reach 5, you'll be wide awake, feeling alert, refreshed, feeling very good, knowing that you will have a wonderful, restful sleep tonight, and from now on. 1, take a deep breath, bring wonderful peace and calm into your life. 2, another breath in, feel how you're bringing liveliness back to the body, feeling very refreshed, very calm. 3, another deep breath, feeling fantastically refreshed, feeling good, knowing that your mind is clear and ready. 4, another deep breath, feeling alertness and wakefulness back to you for a little while left for the rest of the night. And 5, deep inhale, alert, energized, refreshed, wide awake, feeling good, wide awake. All right. How was that?
I'm not wide awake.
That's all right. That's all right. Take another deep breath. That's okay. You don't need to be wide awake completely. We want to be awake enough to drive well and safely back home. And you want to be able to be relaxed. And I want you to know that a lot of times people tell me after they do this is like, I feel so tired, but you're not tired. You actually are relaxed.
It is relaxed. Yeah,
You just feel relaxed, like I'm just comfortable. Okay?
Yeah.
It's just we sometimes forget how much tension we hold in our bodies, in our mind. It's like physical tension. No wonder the body doesn't function well. It's just like it doesn't allow things, the blood to flow right. It's just so deeply important to do that, and allow yourself to enjoy this every night and throughout the day.